Brooklyn Vegan, how's it going? Thank you for having me. I'm Amy Millan. I'm here to talk about 5 influences on my record. I Went to Find You, out May 30th, 2025. My first solo album in 16 years. So here are some influences that I'm here to share. The Weather Station. The Weather Station, such beautiful music, incredible melodies, beautiful albums, and also aesthetically, that's the thing I was really drawn to, is the way Tamara Lindman, her artwork, the cover of her records, every photo that came out for her press shots were so beautiful. Everything, there was such fluidity to everything that she did. So I actually did a deep dive and found one of her photographers that she works with, named Tess Roby, who luckily lived in Montreal. Wow. So Tess did all my shots and helped create the artwork world for the photo side of my album. So big influence. Also politically, Weather Station, Tamara's always present and engaged and just helping us, guide us for, strategic voting in Canada during our election, talking about the climate crisis and how to cope and navigate that. There's these crazy bills that are coming up in Ontario, and she's just always engaged, and it's very inspiring. So she was a big influence for me. Next is Waxahachie. Right Back to It is a song that came out on Tiger's Blood, her album that came out last year. And I could, if I was one of those people that's like, my opinion only, it would be the top song of the year. I think that's just, it's one of my favorite songs ever. And I listened to it obsessively. And any time that I needed to escape the world that I was in from my own creativity, I would go and lose myself in that beautiful song and that beautiful record. So she was a huge part of my year and the making of this album. Third on the list is John Williams. You might know him from certain scores of E.T. and Jurassic Park. My collaborator on the album, Jay McCarroll, is he writes movie scores, and he's a very cinematic guy. And he was a child prodigy, learned how to play very young, could hear whatever he heard, he could play. And so obviously as a young boy, he was watching a lot of those movies and learned how to play them immediately, and they just kind of flow through. And we had a crazy storm when we were recording, and the power blew out and there was nothing to do. And so Jay sat at the piano and played us a concert. And I felt like John Williams was kind of weaving himself in there while he was playing. And I don't know, it just feels like his presence is there. And I showed my son E.T. last night, so I don't know, feels right. Fourth is Bulgarian State Television and Radio Female Choir. This is one photo of them, but they're moving pieces. I think there's a lot of different people that come in and out. They're a choir of the Bulgarian state. I heard them for the first time on our public radio, CBC, beautiful public radio. Tom Allen, excellent show in Canada. And he played the song, and as soon as it came on in the car, I felt my nervous system just have a reset. And I took a photo of it tells you what it is in the car, and wanted to do a deep dive on them. So when I did, the more I listened, the more I felt my nervous system relax. And it is definitely something that I wanted to create on the album, was something that was going to make people, the listeners, just feel a bit more peace in a troubled world. So that's number 4. Lastly, number 5, where's my photo? Keep it alive. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it's number 5, but he was actually kind of like the catapult. He was the start influence. It's Leonard Cohen, Montreal man, beautiful songwriter, also great for the nervous system. But also, I was kind of intrigued by Death of a Ladies Man and how there was no equivalent for a woman, and how it kind of sounded like Death of a Ladies' Man is sort of James Bond. But what is there? Please, in the comments, mention, because to me, I was like, Death of a Vixen? That sounds kind of scary and dangerous. Death of Floozy? That sounds sort of judgmental. Death of a Party Girl? That sounds a bit troubled. Anyway, I could not think of something that sounded quite as cool as Death of a Ladies' Man. And as a woman who has a family and who has had a youth and now has responsibilities that have changed, I just thought that was interesting. So it was something that I was mulling over in my mind when thinking about the stories I wanted to tell and how I felt about myself in the world now. Thank you for having me, Brooklyn Vegan. Those are the top 5 influences. Obviously, there's many other that aren't people. And I'm going to say water. Okay,